Welcome back to part 2 of learning about HTML. In this video, we are going to get stuck straight into creating our HTML cheat sheet or guide so that then by the end of it, you can create something that looks along the lines of this so that then we can view what our different lines of code and use of HTML markup look like when transferred into our browser. Now, I have just deleted my hello world that I had written up here from the last video. We could just use this HTML document as a platform to write in our diaries essentially and write word after word after word. That would work fine, and if we saved this file and then refreshed our browser, it would work and you would see that writing. However, it would not have any paragraphs or line spacing or any headings or anything along those lines because you have not asked it to. You have not included the code. So that is not what we're all about. That is not what we're going to be doing. We are going to be learning about HTML today. All right. So I'm just moving some stuff out of my way here. All right, so you can see that I saved and I refreshed. What we are going to do is learn to begin with about tags. Tags are probably where we need to start with our HTML coding and markup. So tags are what you would put in front. Ironically, I got rid of it, but I need it back. If only I could spell. Tags are what you would put in front and behind your writing to make it do something. So for example, if I wanted hello world to be bold, I would need to include a right and a left angled bracket with the word strong in between, so that then it creates this tag right here. Now, the deal with tags is that normally 9 times out of 10, they need both a start and a end bracket, because at the moment, my code does not know when to finish being bold. Therefore, it is incomplete. So what I need is the same on the other side of where I want my bold writing to stop. And I'm going to have right angle bracket. I'm going to do not a question mark, a slash. And that's the beauty of this program. It's just finished it off for me. All right. So the front end tag is going to be just those angle brackets with the word inside of it. Generally, to close, you need to include this slash along with it. All right. And then if I save, so Control S is the easiest way for you to go about this. You can see that I have hello world, whereas if I just wrote hello world underneath, you can see that even though I've pressed enter and I've gone down, it has just written it alongside, but you can see the difference between the text. All right, so tags again need front and back. All right, the back one needs a slash. All right, and tags essentially make your writing in your HTML document do stuff. All right. I hope that you're following along. Remember, these videos, the point of them is so that then you can pause and play at your leisure and you can follow along with me and make sure that you're doing these things too. If you are someone that is just watching my video and is staring at the screen and you are not actively participating, shame on you. Can you please make sure that you are following along with me? All right, so let's get stuck into it. What we are going to do is we are going to start our HTML document. Now, one thing that I haven't told you guys is that there are various versions of HTML. You would have seen it in your research of the internet the other day, but HTML has gone through various iterations. At the moment, the most up-to-date and current version that is used frequently everywhere is HTML5. So HTML5, the code that you need to put at the very start of your document on line 1. If you remember back to video 1, the dog website that we checked out the source information, it had this code at the very top. That code is doc, all in capitals, type, all right, and then HTML, and then we've got one of those angled brackets again. So this tells the computer, this tells our file that we are going to be writing in HTML5. Then underneath it directly, we are going to write HTML. So that indicates that specifically not are we writing in HTML5, but majority of the information that we are going to be including is coded within HTML. We're not using as much CSS, all of that kind of thing, all right? There is HTML within this document is essentially what we're saying. Okay, now, next part. At the moment, you can see I haven't refreshed the page. I just have words, all right? I don't have any indication that there is a heading. My like bookmarking tab name up here is exactly the same as what I saved the file as. So if you remember, we went through that process of .html, which is like just underneath if I hover on it. So nothing has changed. What we are going to do is we are going to include in our document a head for the heading or the title, which is going to be changing this aspect here, all right? And we are then going to include text in the body, which is what we kind of have already started with our Hello World stuff, okay? So what we are going to start off with doing is typing in the word head after, I'm checking to make sure that you're watching, after we've done our angled brackets. So we need to make sure that they are inside of those, okay? Now, remember how I said that HTML and any other tag needs to have a front end and a back end tag? The exception, or one of the exceptions, is this code that we've added in here. But these two are not an exception, so we need a front end and a back end of those two. So let me just go down a few. If you're finding that it is moving your line over, I'll tell you a bit more information about that in a sec. But if it is moving it over, just press your arrow key to go back. We are going to add in our backslash. So we've got head there, and we are also going to add in our HTML. Now, we want the HTML to be top and very bottom of all your coding, all right? And then the head, we just want to surround essentially what is going to become our title, all right? Which is going to be the tab name, all right? So what we're going to do is we are going to type in title within this part here. And then what are we going to call it? I think I'm going to call mine Miss Dawson's HTML cheat sheet. And then I am going to finish it off again with, I'm waiting and pausing as if I'm asking you what it is that we're going to be doing, but hopefully you answered with the backend tag, all right, of title. Then hopefully what I'm hoping for is if I go Control S and I refresh this page, it's gotten rid of the Hello World, but it's changed over here my name to Miss Dawson's HTML cheat sheet, and you can see that it doesn't have that .html after it. Can you make sure that you've written in your name here, please? All right, so there's my heading. Ah, excellent. All right, next step. Now we're going to start adding to our body. So we're going to start adding to where the Hello World was earlier. So we are going to write the word body next. And again, make sure that you have the front and back tags, all right? I find it easiest to include both at the same time, especially when you're going to have a lot of information in between the two. Otherwise, it's easy to forget afterwards, and then you will try and like save and refresh your HTML document, and you will find that it won't work, and then you'll have to go back through your code and you'll have to work out where the problem actually lies, all right? Okay, so within our body, we are going to include a whole bunch of different cheat sheety kind of things. I might need to create a couple of different videos to go through these different stages. But we are going to start off with headings. So what I would like you to do, what we are about to write in is not code. It is just going to be for the purpose of being a title for your cheat sheet document here. It will not appear here at all. The reason for that is because, the reason for that is because we are essentially boycotting our code. So we're making it so it doesn't make sense, all right? So what I'd like you to type in is the right angled arrow, then an exclamation mark, then if we can do 2 dashes, a space bar, and then we're going to write the word headings, and then do space bar, dash dash, and a angled bracket. Okay, so we can see that if you're using Sublime or another program like this is now grey, whereas all of my other tags are coloured correctly as they should be. All right, so we know that this is not going to show up. All right, so headings. Headings range in sizes from size 1, right, which is the largest, to size 6. What we are going to do for our cheat sheet is we are going to write the tag H1, all right, for heading 1. Now, the information that I'm typing out that ends up white, that is going to be the information that I'm marking up to the website, by the way. So same with this white information that was here. All right, this directly is going on there. Any of these tags will not be appearing. So H1, heading 1, and then I need my end tag. So I'm going to make sure that I've got a backward slash. We're going to go all the way down to number 6. And then we're going to save and refresh so that then we can see what it looks like. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so far I've written out 3 of my tags, or sorry, 3 of my headings, I should say, with the tags. If you're finding this really slow, what I would recommend is copy by highlighting and then going Control-C, and then pasting by going Control-V, and then essentially just changing certain words. I don't want to change that one. I do want to change that one. And that one. And one more. All right, and then, very important, make sure that you change the tags as well so that then they match. All right, done. Then from there, if I then do my Control-S for saving and refreshing, you can see that we have heading 1 through to 6, which is 3, so I need to change that. If only I could spell. Just an FYI, guys, definitely doing this late at night. One of my hot tips for you all is make sure that you've got sleep before you start doing HTML or any sort of coding, because otherwise you're going to suffer. You're going to make mistakes like I am. All right, so we have an example of what our headings now look like. Why are we creating this? So that then in the future, if you're not sure which heading size you would like, you can come back to this document and you can choose based off of which one you like the best here. Okay, let's really quickly go through one more step and then we might change to a different video. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to trial doing some paragraphs. So I want one of those comments like we had above. All right, paragraphs. Paragraphs are essentially creating the enter down line as if you were using Word. We need to start and end our paragraphs in a P, essentially. P for paragraph, all right? So I've got that code to begin with. I am going to not do that. What is going on? I am going to enter down. I am going to enter down again. I'm going to make sure that I have, for sure, my end paragraph. Now, it's recommended that you do have your P a line above, all right, and you have your end tag P below and your paragraph writing in the middle, all right? Otherwise, there may be glitches, there may be problems with the coding that you have created. All right, so what we're going to type here is this is a paragraph. It is using the, we don't want to do that. Let's just write P tag with the correct spelling. What else can we write? I love writing in HTML. I'm also going to say I am very tired. Okay. I think that that is a wonderful paragraph. Lots of broken small sentences. I'm going to leave it at that for now, for that one. And I'm going to create a new paragraph. So creating a new paragraph, again, I need my P tag. And I'm going to make sure that I have my closing P tag in the middle. Notice how I have got an indent here. So almost as if it has as if I have pressed tab, all right, or I've moved my icon over. It's just a general good layout to use while you're coding and while you're using HTML, just the same that we did up here. As we go further and further down and we get into coding more and more so, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as it makes things neater and easier to read. This paragraph that I think I'm going to add in here, I can't be bothered coming up with any more brilliant paragraphs like the one above, so I am going to be a bit lazy and I am going to use a gibberish text, which is Italian, I think. So what I want you to type in is lorem, and then we're going to press tab. Now, if you are using Sublime, it is going to come out with a random amount of words like this. If you are using Notepad, no clue what it's going to do. You might need to come up with your own brilliant paragraph yourself, but pretty much it's just randomly generated a bunch of text. I think that for our document, we want 3 paragraphs to get the full effect, so I'm just going to do the same thing again. If you really wanted to, I'm not smart enough to do this, but if you really wanted to, no, to be honest, not smart enough, just I want to practice my skills. If you really wanted to, some of this code you could copy and paste, all right? But again, like I just said, you are practicing skills right now, so it is good to keep typing these things out. You will slowly get quicker as you go. Okay, so I have 3 paragraphs. You type whatever you want in them. Make sure it's appropriate. All right. Then if we go Control S again and we refresh our page, you can see that we have our paragraphs here and here. All right, we're going to leave it at that for now. We are going to be looking at text stylization, lists, tables, images, and links, hopefully all in the next video. Hopefully we can get through it. Otherwise, it will be in the next 2. Thank you. See you in the next one.